All right. Okay. Hey, Paula.
Hi.
Taylor.
Nice to meet you, Taylor.
Good to meet you as
Yeah,
well.
too.
We're here today to work on a couple of things. Contact, you said, probably being the most important.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll just ask you a couple questions. What sort of golf history do you have? Like, how long have you been playing the game for?
I haven't really been playing the game. I've been struggling to play the game, so I think I've been maybe out maybe a handful of times. A couple times at the driving range.
Yeah.
3 times on a course, only playing 9 holes.
Okay.
It's been very inaccurate.
So just mostly in the last year or two you started up then?
Last maybe 6 months.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
And then what are your goals? Like, what sort of do you want to strive for as far as, obviously you want to get better,
Yeah.
but do you have any specific goals in mind as far as how good or how often you'd like to play, as far as that goes?
Yeah, well, I play with people who are quite advanced, so I think I just want to kind of keep up and kind of be accurate, and I want to be able to hit, make the contact with the ball, and get some distance, so I can actually keep up and just kind of play along. So I think.
So would you say, like, for today's lesson and the next couple lessons, maybe one of our main goals would be just to improve consistency of contact and just get you hitting the ball, getting it airborne more consistently?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Perfect. So that's good. Basically, I'll get you to start by hitting a couple warm-up shots. You got a 7-iron there?
I do.
Okay. So we'll start, just have you hit 5 or 6 warm-up shots, and I'll take a look and we'll go from there.
Great.
Get those out of the way.
Those out of the way.
Okay, that's pretty good.
Made contact with that one. That's pretty rare.
So actually, before you even get warming up, I'll mention essentially what you want to do before each practice session, every time before you go to play, is get a good warm-up in.
Okay.
Really stretch your body out. There is some injuries that can occur. Essentially you want to do some warm-up exercises. I know you had been doing some previously to our lesson, so you're a little warmed up, but essentially what you want to do is just get the body loose. A couple exercises I like to do, just have the club across the chest with your shoulders, or your hands on your shoulders, and just swing back and forth. Stretches out the back muscles pretty good. So just doing that. Another one that's good is have the club up atop your head. Just lean from one side to the other. Stretching out the big muscles. The big muscles are the muscles that you're going to be using in your golf swing. And then a couple others, just obviously you want to stretch out your legs so you can do your toe touches and just stuff like that to stretch out your legs. A couple other things I'll mention before we get started. Just be aware of other golfers here on the range. There can be errant shots coming our way, especially with a double-ended range. We can have golf balls coming all the way at us, so always be aware of your surroundings here, and just make sure you're cognizant of that. So yeah, I'll get you to hit a couple warm-up shots and we'll get going here.
Great.
Also, we'll just start with, just don't need to have a full swing.
Okay.
When I warm up, I like to just really just do a couple half swings, just focusing on hitting the ball, not going all the way up to the top, just almost like you're chipping it.
Yeah.
Just trying to really focus on making good contact, and then that'll lead into your full swing later on. So even when you're warming up, just start with a couple half swings.
Okay. My contact is what I need.
Yeah, you're getting the timing off of it.
Okay.
I'm sorry. There's something else that might work for you. Sometimes I say to myself, you're going to get all things balanced hits. So go ahead and
straight?
Yeah.
your time to
Do that.
Okay. We're just warming up here, so don't worry about where the ball's going. Just trying to loosen up those muscles.
Well, yeah. The main thing we're trying to time yourself to their ball.
Make sure you're staying balanced. Just having a good footing, staying balanced throughout the golf shot. Athletic stance is what it's called.
Yeah, that means that ball was long. Yeah, well, her ball was long. Yeah, it does really count.
Nice. That's a good one. A couple more warm-ups, and then we'll work on a few things here.
Yeah, 1, 2, 1, 3. Yeah? Yeah. I mean, part of the reason you hear the Sheriff Holden, somebody has residential, they've got a lot of noise, but they make that noise when they hit the
Beauty.
ball.
Right. Pretty rare.
Not too long.
Hopefully.
All right. So, a couple things I noticed within your warm-up shots there is struggling to stay on balance and stay centered over the ball. So what I mean by that is you want to have your ball position, so we have a 7-iron right. Generally it's going to be somewhere towards the middle of our stance.
Okay.
So what I mean by staying centered over the ball, your center of mass is in the middle of your chest here, sort of your sternum area. And what you sort of have a tendency to do is fall backwards or forwards, sort of losing your balance over the ball. So one thing I'd like you to focus on is just having your center of mass just stay centered over the top of the ball throughout the golf swing and even through the follow through. You don't want to be moving one side to the other, just staying centered over the ball. Then as far as your stance goes, make sure you have a good knee bend. Did you play any other sports as a kid? Baseball? Perfect. So you know exactly what an athletic stance is, right? You're getting ready for, when you're in the field, you're getting ready for the ball to come out to you. Same sort of deal. Basically, you want to feel like you're on the balls of your feet. And if I were to push you, you wouldn't fall backwards, right? So you got a good stance going. So focus on that when we're hitting some shots. So we'll let you hit a couple more here. And obviously the main goal we're working on today is just improving contact. So I'll give you 2 or 3 ideas in order to work on that.
Great.
Yeah, know the player, know how deep they serve, and sort of watch where they land.
It's pretty good there.
Bouchard? Bouchard. Do you think she made a mistake by not backing up? Oh, I
That's good there. So did you feel
Yes.
how you hit slightly behind the ball there? Obviously that caused it to go a little shorter than it would making contact with the ball first. So basically what that looks like when you hit behind the ball is you're contacting the ground here versus hitting the ball first. So our main goal today is to focus on hitting the ball first and creating a divot after the ball. Okay? So you can keep going with a couple more shots here.
Great.
So when you split, you will see whether it's forehand or backhand. I don't think you can go one way or the other. Your serve is good.
Okay. Just lifting up a little bit. What I mean by that is your upper body through impact is coming upwards, facing the sky. What you want to do is, like I said, have your center of mass stay over the ball until you impact it. Once you hit the ball, then you can come up and have a full follow through, but you don't want to be lifting your upper body before you hit the ball. Okay?
Yep.
When I do it, I was taught, I actually, as soon as you're in the motion, I start going in and then I split. But some people just do their dance there. So it depends on what you like. Oh boy, too deep.
Pretty good there.
Okay.
Just really focus on hitting the back of the ball first, right? So obviously you have the ball in the center of your stance, and you want to just focus on hitting the ball and then the turn. Okay?
2 or 3 balls and then also 2 or 3 balls, so you're getting some different pace. Okay. Oh, I was good. You were too close in. Yeah. Split and then hit. Right. That's right. Run.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go through a couple things here. Basically, I will describe and demonstrate what I want you to do and a couple things we can focus on as far as creating better consistency of contact.
Okay.
So if you just want to step over here, I'll demonstrate a couple techniques that we're going to focus on. So basically, obviously you want to have your balance centered over the ball. What I'd like you to do is feel like you have a bit more of your weight. So if we're looking at it as a percentage, maybe you have 60% of your weight on your front foot. So leaning a little more forward. When we're taking the club back, you have a tendency to break your wrists a little bit on the way back, a little too quickly. The wrists will bend at the top of the backswing, but we don't want them bending right away. So essentially, you want to try and take the club head back a little more straight along the ground. When you get to the top, you're going to create that wrist angle. And that wrist angle here is something that we want to hold throughout impact. So what I mean by that is once we get back down to the ball, we want to have our hands in front of the ball. That's going to allow the club head to contact the ball first. So if we have our hands in front of the ball, our weight a little bit forward, it's just going to allow us to hit better golf shots. So I'll let you hit a couple more like that, just focusing on not bending your wrists too quickly on the back, not breaking your wrist too quickly, just having a sort of a straighter arm. So one thing to think about would be have your arm in line with the shaft of the club when you set it up, and take it back like that. At impact, get back to that same position, and obviously you want your club face square to the target to create the ball to go straight. So, but what we're going to focus on just on these next couple shots is just taking the club back straighter without breaking that wrist, getting back to the impact zone, having more of our weight on our front foot, and then having our hands in front of the ball.
Okay.
So I'll let you hit a couple shots doing that.
Great.
Yeah, like I said earlier, always a good idea to take a couple practice swings before each shot. Just really focus on what you're trying to do with the golf ball, with your arms and stuff. If you just step up and hit shot after shot, it's tough to adjust. So always try and take 1 or 2 practice swings between each shot.
Great.
Remembering keeping your balance as well.
That's actually good because you're getting 3 different servers quickly, which is not a bad deal. Oh, bullseye.
Okay.
Okay, that was a little hard. I've done this drill before. It's good to switch around like that. I think it's good.
That's
But
okay.
why don't you get the switch sides? Oh, yeah.
Lifting up a little bit, just try and stay down over the ball. Nice. That's a good one. Try one more there. Yep.
Great, thanks.
Bad there. Just try and give yourself a good lie here on the range while you're able to.
Except for people who are my age who still play competition and hold the ball in their hand. I said, I can tell you exactly how old you are.
Nice. Beauty. So did you feel what you might have done differently there to create that shot? What I noticed anyways was, well, first of all, you stayed within your balance. You weren't falling from one side to the other. You weren't swaying. You took it back fairly straight along the ground, and then followed through without breaking your wrist. On a couple of the ones where they didn't get airborne, a couple of the ones that you didn't make great contact on, some of the things that we'll work on to improve that is try not, it's called essentially flipping or breaking your wrist through the impact zone. So what's happening is your wrists are coming back and breaking on the backswing, and they're doing the same thing on the downswing. And we want to avoid that. You notice how, watch my club face, when my wrists break on the back and they're breaking too early on the forward swing, the club face is in front of my hand. So we don't want that. What we want to create is an angle where the club face is behind the hands and you're leading the butt of the club is leading your golf swing. So your hands are always in front of the ball. Your weight is more so on your front foot.
Yeah.
And your impact position is kind of going to look like this.
Okay.
You're going to almost be leaning forward.
Okay.
And everything's going to, the club head is almost the last thing to contact to come through the ball.
Okay.
Another thing I want to focus on is making contact with the ball first. Almost when you look at the ball, you want to contact it sort of right at the back versus sweeping the ground first and then hitting it,
Yeah.
or hitting on top of the ball, which a couple of the shots were.
Yeah.
So we'll get into a drill here. I've got a white line on the ground. So we're going to place the ball on the white line. And what I want you to do is, if you just step to the side for a moment here, what I want you to try and focus on is contacting the ball on the white line and having the area which your club face contacts the ground after the line.
Okay.
So we don't want to contact the ground at all before the line.
Right.
We're going to focus on hitting the ground after the line. So I'll get you to start by, we're not going to use a ball,
Okay.
just making a couple swings where you hit the ground after the line.
Okay.
So you can just even, you can kind of tell,
Yeah.
see I took a divot there,
Yeah.
and it started after the line. So that's what we're going to try and work on there.
Okay.
Just making a couple swings, following through, and contacting the ground after the white line there.
Okay.
So I'll let you take a couple practice swings there, and we'll really work on contacting the ground after that line there.
Great.
Where they get it from is they get it from the legs. So down. I mean, that's the two options when you start to take it right up in the air. I go right back on the side.
There you go. That was perfect. You notice how the divot started a good inch after the line,
Yeah.
and continued onwards towards your target. Now if the ball was here,
Right.
it would have been a great shot because you would have contacted the ball first, and then just your downward momentum is going to create the ball, and the loft of the club is going to make it go up in the air.
Okay.
So that's perfect there. So we want to recreate that that action there
All right.
a couple more times here.
Great.
Very deep, yes. Very deep, yes. Okay, so you're returning third. Where are you going to be standing? You're returning the third. You're going to start back there. Depending on how deep they serve, you're going to be 3 or 4 feet behind the contact. You're right there on the service line. Okay. So, Cecile, if you're
That's
serving,
good there.
where are you going to be tapping?
During this drill, we really want to focus on, so
The reason
you can even start with your club on the line,
Okay.
and then really focus on contacting the ground. So you're not trying to dig in, but you just want to make almost a sweeping
Yeah.
divot
Yeah.
after the line.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
receiving, where are you going to be? And where are you going to be sitting? Yeah, a little more in. You actually want to be about but a racket faces away from the center. You're a little farther over. You're basically on the service line that you want to serve.
That's good there.
And you can either move the
Almost on the line now.
Yeah, but that's it's not going to hurt you.
Okay, great.
As long as you're not hitting behind the line,
Yeah.
then generally your contact's going to be pretty good.
Okay.
Okay?
No, it's serving. Yeah, it's serving. Sorry. Yeah, you're going to be in a volley position, which is 2 or 3 racket lengths back from the net. Some people sit right up top of the net. You can lift them up. Not quite.
There you go. So a little bit of an overswing there.
Yeah.
Kind of fell off balance. Did
Yeah.
you notice how you were kind of leaning backwards? So when you follow through, you always want to be in the same position when you follow through. So you're focusing on staying balanced over the ball. Your hands are coming through before the club head, and then you're finishing up to a full follow through like this. But you don't want to be leaning backwards, right?
Yeah.
So, like I said, as far as a percentage goes, you might want to think like 60% on the front, 40 on the back. That's going to remain the same, and might even get a little more. You might even get into like the 70-30 zone at impact, right? So you're always wanting to push your body forward. You never want to be falling backwards when you're contacting the ball, like in effort to lift it in the air. The club head and the speed, the loft of the club, and the speed of your swing is going to create the ball to get airborne. You don't need to help it at all, right? So really focus on staying down through the ball and just following through, moving forward, right? Okay. Excuse me. Actually, before you hit that, we'll do a couple more practice swings without the ball, and then we'll get into hitting some shots off the white line there.
I'll say it was perfect. I meant to do it. Yeah, that's right. So what's the score? I didn't even know.
I think it's 30 all.
There you go. That's good there. Like I said, even if you're contacting just on the edge of the white line, it's still going to be fairly good contact, right? So the further you can get it in the divot in front like that is the better. But always making sure you're hitting down on the golf ball rather than hitting up, right? We're not leaning backwards. We're not trying to pick the ball up in the air. We're hitting down on it. That's why the divot is created after the line. Okay, so hit one or two more here, and then we'll get into hitting some shots.
Great.
No, it's a scale. Just slide. No, good try. You're coming in. That's good. Okay. So 2:30.
There you go. That's good there. You notice how you kind of stayed balanced there. You followed through all the way to the top, and you weren't falling backwards at all. So that's a good swing there. So now we'll try and hit a couple shots. Put the golf ball there. Same idea. Staying balanced, centered over the ball. Try not to break your wrist so much on the backswing. So we're coming back a little straighter. This arm is going to be in line with the shaft angle here on the backswing, and then on the downswing, we're coming through. We have quite a bit of our weight on our front foot. The grip and hands are in front of the club face, and then the club face will contact the ball, and the divot will occur after the line. So we'll try and hit a couple shots like that.
Great.
And always remember to stay in that athletic stance on the balls of your feet there. Okay. Just slow it right down. You don't have to take a full swing. We'll go at 75%. So just 3/4 swing, 3/4 speed. So you're not taking it back quick, and you're not following through like as hard as you can. Just think about doing 75% swings here. There you go.
Didn't lift off.
So, reason being, we hit sort of towards the top of the ball. So, in relation to the line, you were fine, but you kind of your balance was lifting up a little bit. Your upper body was tilted backwards. Therefore, the club head was hitting sort of in the middle of the ball versus hitting down on it and through. So this next one will really focus on hitting the ball at the back of the ball,
Okay.
hitting down and through, and then following through,
Okay.
versus leaning backwards, right? So we're really going to focus on keeping our weight centered over the ball, and then hitting down and through, and then getting up to our follow through.
Okay.
Still only 75% speed and
What I was doing is I came in, I kept coming.
and backswing here.
At some point, especially if
So
you
just
start
slow her
doing
right
the
down.
one, you just keep coming in. And I'm not a big guy. But you know, and you're tall too. Yeah. That helps. Oh, nice try. Does that return feel better? You keep your hand up.
Beauty!
Yeah.
That was perfect.
That was perfect. Wow.
You ripped it. And
Yeah.
see how the divot starts right at the front of the line and goes forward?
Yeah.
So that's exactly what you're trying to do. So obviously you want to recreate that feeling, that shot.
Yeah.
What I noticed is your wrists were not breaking so quickly on the backswing. You kind of took it back a little slower.
Yeah.
And then obviously on the follow through, your hands were in front of the ball, therefore creating that good contact.
Yeah.
Right?
That was well, yeah.
So let's try hitting a couple more like that.
Great.
I'm listening. Call switch. What you didn't know is when she ran behind you, you would automatically go to the other side. Yeah. But if you don't see it or you don't know it, then you just call switch. That's all. Call switch. And it just means you go to the other side. Because sometimes you don't know where your partner is behind you, and they have to follow you. Like you knew what today, you knew about
Okay, lift it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Almost looked like you might have got a little bit back on your backswing, so your weight kind of transferred back. Maybe just focus on, and what that causes is just inconsistency of contact with the ground.
Yeah.
It's hard to return the club face to the initial setup position if you're swaying off the ball.
Yeah.
So what you want to do is just sort of just really focus this next shot here on keeping your center of mass over the ball and having your weight forward throughout the swing, and then following through rather than taking it back and following through, right?
Yep.
So you're
Makes sense.
you're staying centered, you're coming through versus taking it back and then coming through.
Yeah.
All right?
All right.
Oh dear. You lost it. They were up 5:15:40. Here you go. Okay. All right.
All right, it's pretty good. A little thin there.
Yeah.
So what I mean by a thin shot is kind of hit the top of the ball, the top half of the ball, and that's going to cause it to go low, right? So we really want to, we'll hit a couple more practice swings here. We'll take 2 or 3 practice swings. Just really focusing on hitting in front of that line, hitting down and in front of the line. Okay?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Good plan. Okay, what's the switch side? We'll go back to where we went.
That's good there.
Kathy and Cecile and all third. I need some water. What side do you want, girl? I'll sit out. No, we'll switch in. We've only got about 10 more minutes to start. The wine is cold. It's fun to see how you get some double touch in me.
So you know, it kind of fell off balance there. You notice that?
I did.
It's always good to, when you make a bad swing or something doesn't feel right, just really stop, take a minute to recognize what went wrong. So obviously you knew right away there that was your balance.
Yeah.
Kind of overswung, fell off balance. So then your next one you're going to focus on really getting in that athletic stance, staying over the ball. there. So we can even dial it back a little bit, right back 75, 65%. We're not trying to kill the ball right now. We're just trying to make contact, right? So just really, really easy swings, not all the way back and not as quick. So we'll slow it right down, just real smooth. So you're taking it back, just gently, having this wrist angle stay in line with the shaft, and then we're coming through smooth as well. We're not forcing anything.
Right,
Okay.
right. It's my tendency, though.
That's okay. We'll get there.
Okay.
Okay, that's good there. So I'm going to show you a drill here that you can use when you're practicing on the range. So essentially what we're going to do, put the ball on the line, and obviously if you don't have a line on the driving range, you can just use a tee on the end and put it in line with that. We're going to use another tee here. Put it about, I don't know, 6 inches in front of the ball. Tee it up, put it in the ground about halfway. And what you're going to try and do is have the ball on the line, have the tee in line with the ball with your target. So you always want to pick a target out on the driving range, whether it's a 100-yard marker or a flag stick. So we're going to have the tee in front of the ball, and what I want you to do is hit the golf shot and try and have the ball fly right over the tee and even hit the tee. So what you're trying to do is drive the ball into the ground. What it's going to do is cause you to really hit down on it, because for the ball to stay down for that amount of time with the tee 6 inches in front, you're really going to have to hit down on it versus lifting it up. So it's gonna help you with staying down over the ball. So we'll just hit a couple shots, trying to hit the tee with the ball, and then following through, and hopefully your club face will also hit that tee. Okay, so it'll look like this. Alright, so you notice how my divot occurred after the line. The ball probably didn't hit the tee because it got airborne before it, but the club face knocked the tee down. So that's just one drill you can use to focus on really hitting down. Okay, so I'll let you try that once here, just to get the hang of it. So like I said, just the tee halfway through. And you don't make sure the tee is loose in the ground, so it's not going to be stiff when you're hitting through. It'll just pop out, right? So you can hit one like that. Okay, so just a little quick there. Try slowing it down a little bit. And then, like I said earlier, we're trying to take the club head back a little further along the ground versus picking it straight up off the ground and breaking those wrists too early. So on this one, obviously slow it down. Just even think about swinging half, 50% speed, and then taking the club head back a little further along the ground, and then coming through and hitting the ball. Okay? you go. That's a little better. But do you notice how you hit just behind the line?
Yeah.
So it didn't go quite as far. It's called hitting a little fat, right? So just behind the line, you contacted the ground.
Yeah.
So obviously, and then your club head didn't hit this tee.
Yeah.
So really focus on hitting in front and making sure your club head follows through and hits that tee in your follow through.
Okay.
Okay. So that's one drill you can take home with you.
Yeah,
Obviously practice that on the range in between lessons. Basically we'll just go over a summary of a couple of the key points that we went over today.
Yeah.
Then you can take that with you with your practice throughout the week here, and we'll take a look next week as far as how we're doing. So I'll just get you to sort of list off any of the key points that you really want to be focusing on that I've mentioned as far as making better contact.
I think for me it's the balance.
Yeah.
Is keeping down, keeping solid in my stance so that I'm not lifting up, and that's the inconsistency of hitting.
Yep.
Because I feel like that's it. If I'm lifting, I'm missing the ball entirely.
For sure.
So, and then staying center over the ball is huge because I just want to kind of hit like I'm in baseball kind of a thing. So, and then also keeping my arms straight here and being really aware of that at the beginning and keeping my head kind of in my body mass center so that when I do bring it back, I've got that weight over the top, so I feel like I'm not causing myself even more off balance.
Exactly.
And yeah, I think that's the biggest thing is my balance right now.
For sure. Definitely want to be focusing on that. Only other thing that I will review that we would cover today is just making sure at impact when you're hitting the ball that your hands are in front of the ball. So the club face, you're always going to have that angle where the club face is behind. Sort of a check or a drill you can think of is when you're swinging, the butt of the club head is leading your swing rather than the club face coming through first and flipping through. We want the butt of the club coming through and the club face will trail that and then you follow through. So that's pretty good. I like what I've seen today. Definitely made some progress. Obviously you hit some good shots.